Good evening, guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is having a fantastic start to their week. So today I received a few celebrity fragrances as blind buys, and at first I was just going to do a blind buy haul, and then I thought I would use this opportunity to actually share with you all of the celebrity fragrances that I have, as well as a couple that are around my house that are not necessarily in my collection, and share with you which ones I would recommend out of that batch and which ones I think have the best longevity, etc. So that is what we're going to be chatting about today. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Alithia, and on this channel we do talk mostly about perfume. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, then definitely stick around and hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so as you can see in front of me, I have quite a few fragrances. They are all celebrity fragrances. I haven't counted them. I think there's at least 10 fragrances here. Some of them were from my personal collection. Actually, 2 of them are from my personal collection. Most of the other ones belong to my daughter, who is almost 11 years old. And a bunch of them are actually blind purchases that I just received today. So at first I was just going to do like a blind buy perfume haul, and then I thought this would be a really good opportunity for me to go through and kind of rate all of the celebrity fragrances and tell you which ones are my favorite and why. So some of them I will read the notes to you, but some of them I might not read the notes if I think it's just pointless. There are definitely a couple in here that I think are not even really worth spending much time on, so I will go through them and kind of let you know my thoughts on all of these perfumes. Okay, so the first one, and I'm trying to do this as seriously as I can, this is Nicki Minaj Pink Friday. So apologies in advance to those people who might have this perfume and or really like it. I feel absolutely ridiculous holding this giant pink and gold head. I have to say I didn't really have high hopes for this fragrance. I did blind purchase this because it is one of Nicki Minaj's more well-known fragrances. I'm not going to read the notes for you. I will put them on the screen. But from what I understood, this was supposed to be kind of a sweet caramel is in this, like a sweet, fruity caramel fragrance. So I didn't have high hopes for this. What I can say is that I really don't like it. The performance is absolute garbage. It definitely does smell young. It definitely does smell cheap. And to me, it smells like a celebrity fragrance. So when I say something smells like a celebrity fragrance, I'm referring to that typical young, overly synthetic, fruity and or cotton candy sweet that just doesn't smell very mature or very expensive. So I think you know what I mean when I say it smells like what you would expect from a celebrity perfume. So this is definitely that. This is that quintessential, like, yeah, this would be great for a 12, 13-year-old girl at best. I don't think the longevity is there. I've tested about 6 or 7 perfumes on my arm today, and this was one of the ones that kind of left the fastest. Basically, it smells fruity and sweet and young and synthetic and like a celebrity perfume, and I would not recommend this one unless you are buying for somebody very young in your family who is a huge Nicki Minaj fan. Also, can I say, I hate the bottle. I hate the bottle. I hate the bottle. Even if this was a good scent, I'd throw away the cap because, and I'm not trying to sound rude here, you guys, I really think this is one of the ugliest bottles I've ever seen in my life. I'm so sorry. Okay, this is a celebrity perfume I would actually recommend for adult women or for anybody who wants a beautiful, sweet, long-lasting caramel fragrance. So this is Fancy from Jessica Simpson. If you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, you probably know that I actually used to have this one in my collection. I used to wear this when I was a little bit younger. I think I was in my early 20s, and I absolutely loved it. This is a fruity caramel vanilla fragrance with a little bit of almond. It also has a little bit of amber and sandalwood. It's a very cozy, warm caramel fragrance, and it actually has really good performance. This doesn't smell like a cheap celebrity perfume. This smells like anybody of any age could wear it. It's very cozy, and I really like it. I still stand by my recommendation for this one. This is what I would consider to be a really good celebrity fragrance. The next one is Britney Spears Fantasy, probably one of the most iconic celebrity fragrances of all time. Very recognizable. I think even the scent itself is very recognizable. So I personally would not wear this for myself. I still find this one to smell quite young. I do find that this one does smell a little bit more celebrity fragrance-esque. I think it's getting a little bit more mature. It's definitely more mature than the Black Friday from Nicki Minaj. It doesn't have amazing performance. So the notes that you have in here is kiwi, red lychee, quince, white chocolate, cupcake, orchid, jasmine, musk, woody notes, and orris root. And I definitely get the white chocolate in here. I think it's very pleasant, but for me, it is still a little bit too young. I like it almost enough to keep it in my collection and wear it for myself. If I'm going for something really sweet, I would rather go for something that does have a little bit more maturity to it. I feel like this one still is a little bit too young for me, but it's not a bad smelling perfume. I think this is definitely one of the better perfumes that you can get for celebrity scents, but I wouldn't make this like a top recommendation. So longevity for this is okay. There's not much else to say about Fantasy. I think this is also a great one to gift a younger girl who's like 14 years old plus. And yeah, I personally don't think I'd wear this much older than, I think by the time you're like 17, 18, I'm probably getting a little too old for this. So that is Britney Spears Fantasy. Also, you guys, please remember, this is just my subjective opinion. I think if somebody is 50 or 60 and still wants to wear this, I think that's fantastic. The next one is Midnight Fantasy. So you guys, I have to say, I don't mind this one. This one I actually gave to my daughter, but I don't know if she really likes it. And by the way, she kind of just collects perfumes. At this age, she's not really wearing perfume on a daily basis or anything. She just thinks it's kind of fun to collect the bottles, and I think they're really cute too. So this one is a little bit more unique. This one definitely smells more mature and it's more complex than the original Fantasy. This is one that I'm actually reconsidering. I just sprayed it on my arm and I don't mind it. So this one has notes of plum, sour cherry, which makes it very unique. It actually does have a sour cherry note when you first spray it. So it's kind of interesting. It's got raspberry, orchid, iris, freesia, vanilla, amber, and musk. And this one definitely smells a little bit more mature, has better lasting power than the original Fantasy. This one I could actually safely recommend for all ages. I would say that whether you are in your mid-teens or, you know, up into your 20s and 30s, I think that this is a perfume that lots of different people can wear and get away with. I think it smells very fun, very fruity, very playful, but still mature enough and interesting enough that you could get away with it if you were a more mature woman. So this one I would rate a little bit higher on the list, and I would recommend checking it out if you're in the market for a affordable, flirty fragrance. The next one is Sweet Like Candy from Ariana Grande. Now, I'm not going to be talking about Ari or Thank You Next in this video today, so if you guys want to see my thoughts on Ari, I will link my most recent video up above for you. And if you want me to review Thank You Next, let me know and I will get my hands on a bottle to talk about with you. So this one again, I have to say, first of all, the bottle is super cute. This one's a little bit dinged and dinged because my daughter actually really loves this one. I think the bottles are so adorable. I have to say, I love the little pom-poms. I love the shape of the bottle. I think they're so girly and so cute. They make beautiful decor. So this one isn't terrible. It's not super cheap smelling, but it's not expensive smelling either, I don't think. This one has notes of blackberry, pear, bergamot, whipped cream, marshmallow, blackcurrant, frangipani, honeysuckle, jasmine, vanilla, and cashmere wood. So all of those notes together make it sound like it would be quite complex, but to me, I have it on my wrist. To me, it definitely still has a very celebrity-esque vibe to it and still a very young vibe. This is not something I would wear for myself. It doesn't have great performance, and to me, it still does smell quite young. So this one I wouldn't recommend for more mature women. I think this is still a good recommendation for teenagers. And again, if you like this and you are of a more mature age, I think that's fantastic. Not something that I personally would recommend or would want to wear for myself. It doesn't smell bad, it smells quite good. But yeah, for me, still definitely does have that celebrity fragrance kind of vibe. So that is Sweet Like Candy from Ariana. The next one is Lovely from Sarah Jessica Parker. So this one is arguably one of the more mature smelling fragrances on this entire tray. Of course, there are so many celebrity fragrances out there that I don't have in this video. This one I love, as evidenced by the fact that it is half gone. This one has a very strong resemblance to Narciso Rodriguez for Her, the Eau de Parfum, and the Eau de Toilette. It is a lovely, mature, musky, sensual floral scent, and I absolutely love this to wear to bed. I find it very relaxing, and for me it kind of has an addictive quality. I love coming up to it and smelling it. It's one of my favorite scent profiles ever. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I recently finally bit the bullet and got the actual Narciso for Her because I wanted something that was a little bit more strong and had that oomph and that lasting power, which unfortunately this one does not quite pack. This one's not terrible. I probably get 3 to 4 hours, but it's not great. It doesn't fill a room. It doesn't really project. It's just a nice fragrance to wear to bed. So I do still recommend this one, even though I don't know if I will be holding on to it because I do have the Narciso for Her, which is kind of like doing double like having two of the same perfume, which I don't really need. But this one definitely served me well while I had it, and I might still keep it like at my bedside and use it just for nighttime spray until it runs out. I think that's what I'll do. So this one's actually really nice. I do recommend it. This is definitely more mature. I would not advise this for a teenage girl. I don't think it would be their vibe. Next, let's talk about this beautiful little bottle. This is also from Ariana Grande, and I did just receive this one blindly today, so you haven't seen it in any of my previous videos. Again, I have to say, I'm a huge fan. I love the bottles. I love the bottles. I like the little pom-pom. And this one, I have to say, does not have bad lasting power. This one has outperformed at least two of the Britney Spearses that are sitting on the tray, which I'll get into in a minute. So this one has notes of plum, blackcurrant, marshmallow, peony, vanilla, sandalwood, and amber. I have to say I'm not a huge fan of plum in my fragrances. However, that opening doesn't stick around for very long. Very shortly after spraying this, I get a little bit of a powdery, makeup-y type of vibe, and it dries down into this really creamy, powdery, marshmallowy like smell, and I actually really like it. I don't mind it. To me, it still is a little young. It still does have a little bit of a young vibe, but not as young as Sweet Like Candy or R.E. This one is a little bit more mature than the other ones. So if I was going to pick any of her fragrances that are in this like iridescent ball, this would be the one I would pick, and I'm kind of debating if I'm going to keep it or not. I do have it on my hand. I've had this on my hand now for about 2 hours, and it's finally starting to pretty much go away. So not great longevity with this one, not terrible though. It does have pretty good performance for the first hour or two. I can really smell it. The back of my hand felt a little bit oily, so it did have better performance than, like I said, at least a couple of the Britney Spearses that I'm going to chat about in a second. So I was impressed with this one. It smells a little bit more unique than some of her other fragrances. It does smell a little bit more mature. This one, I would say, if you're looking for something really cheap and something that would be good for cuddling up on the couch at night or maybe wearing to bed, cuddly, cozy, super close to the skin scent, and you don't want anything too loud, and you don't care if it doesn't have good lasting power, this would not be a bad one. And you can get these for very affordable on the discount websites. I think I paid like $30 for this on fragrancebuy.ca. The next one is Private Show from Britney Spears. So this one is actually a little bit more popular, I would say, in the perfume community. So this one is quite a yummy, sweet, gourmandy coffee fragrance. This one has notes of whipped cream, coffee beans, nectarine, clementine, dulce de leche, jasmine, orange blossom, amber, and musk. So what I mostly get from this is definitely that dulce de leche and also the coffee. It's quite a yummy, almost lactonic, creamy, milky coffee scent. It's quite nice. I really like it. The bottle does look a little bit kind of cheap, I guess. The lid is definitely very cheap. So, I mean, it doesn't have great presentation. Also, the performance with this is not fantastic. I find I have to spray a lot of this, and even then it doesn't really last much longer than a couple of hours, maybe 3 at the very most. So this is something I would definitely spray on right before I was going to go do something. If I was going out, I don't think I would rely on this to last me all night, that's for sure. If I wanted a coffee fragrance that was going to last me all night, I would go with something like Black Opium or Montal Intense Cafe. But that being said, I actually really like this, and I think it's a great cheapy coffee fragrance if you're looking for something that doesn't need to last a long time and that just smells really good. It's good. It's not bad. So this one is a little bit more mature compared to some of Britney Spears' other fragrances. This wouldn't be my first choice for like a younger girl. I would say like later teens, early 20s and up. I would recommend this one. So I have saved the best ones for last, as you might be able to tell as we're going along. This is probably the last one that I'm going to talk about that doesn't have very good performance. So this is Britney Spears' Prerogative. And I actually really like this, you guys. This one was a blind buy for me. I did not pay very much for it. It's a 100 ml bottle. I think I paid like $35 for it. And this is so yummy. This is like a sweeter, younger version of Black Opium. It has a little bit of a spice to it. It's a very yummy, coffee, gourmandy scent. It's so sweet and so good. I actually have to tell you, I love the way this smells. Like, I really love it. The only issue with this is it is literally gone with the wind. Like, I put 2 good sprays on the back of my hand, and 45 minutes later, I can hardly smell anything. So, and I've been testing all of these fragrances this evening. I have to say this is one of the worst performing ones. I don't know if anybody else has had a better experience. I think this is one that you could layer, but you'd have to layer it to make it last, or you'd have to put it on top of copious amounts of body lotion or something, because it just doesn't last, not even in clothing. So that's a real big disappointment. I don't understand what the point of making a good smelling perfume is if it's not going to last, but I guess it has to do with the price of the perfume and the cost of the ingredients. But yeah, this one I absolutely love, 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 love. I might try layering this one with Private Show. I like this one better than Private Show, but Private Show has slightly better performance than this one. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Prerogative, this is actually pretty good, but again, doesn't have good lasting power. And I would say if you're looking for something that is going to last you longer and has that sweet coffee scent to it, definitely go with Montel Intense Cafe or with Black Opium. This is Prerogative from Britney Spears. So we're getting into the top 3 from this tray. This one is Cloud, obviously. This is a very popular fragrance. I've told you guys my opinion on this a few times. I really like this fragrance. I just don't like it enough to have it in my own personal collection. That could change one day, but I've tried wearing this numerous times, and I just, right from the get-go, I've still felt that this one did have a little bit of a celebrity kind of a vibe to it. This is definitely more mature than a lot of the other fragrances. This is one of the most mature smelling fragrances Ariana Grande has come out with. A lot of people compare this to Baccarat Rouge 540. It does have a little bit of a Baccarat Rouge 540 vibe for sure. They're not complete dupes, but they do have a similar vibe. So this one has notes of lavender, pear, and bergamot. In the mid, you have whipped cream, praline, coconut, and vanilla orchid. And in the base, you have musk and vanilla woods. And this is arguably one of the best celebrity fragrances that are out there. I think so myself as well. Again, I haven't bit the bullet and gotten it for my collection. I may maybe get myself a bottle. This is my daughter's, by the way. Sometimes I'm tempted to get myself a bottle because you can find them for pretty cheap these days on the discount websites. And I know that they're compliment getters, and I know that a lot of people really like it, and maybe it will grow on me as well. I'm not sure. But yeah, the longevity for this one is moderate. I wouldn't say it's super, super long. Some people find it long lasting. Some people find it doesn't have good performance at all. For me, it's moderate. So I get at least about 4 or 5 hours. It's not bad. Yeah, so this one is definitely one of the better ones, and I would recommend it. It's not one of my personal favorites, but I would recommend it if you're looking for a really yummy, sweet, fun, flirtatious, gourmand fragrance at a good price. Okay, so in second place, we have Ariana Grande R.E.M. So also please remember, you guys, this is totally going based on my personal preference. A lot of people probably would put Cloud above this one. So if you're one of those people, that is totally cool. So this is R.E.M. As you guys know, if you watch my channel, I love this fragrance. Absolutely love it. This is a sweet, caramelly, lavender, salt skin scent. It smells as if somebody has just had a shower using a delicious kind of a gourmand body wash, and then there's a little bit of like a dryer sheet vibe and a little bit of a salty vibe. It almost has like boyfriend t-shirt smells, if you know what I'm talking about. So it's a little bit sensual, it's sweet. I absolutely love this. You can see that I've put a pretty good dent in the bottle. I love wearing this for cozying up on the couch in the evening. I find it has a little bit of a sex appeal to it. And this is arguably probably the most mature fragrance that Ariana Grande has come out with, which also might be why I really like it. I really recommend it. It has pretty good lasting power as well. It's not a beast, but it's not bad by any means. I get about 4 or 5 hours with this, which is pretty good for a celebrity scent. And finally, the perfume that I put in the #1 spot, believe it or not, is going to be Kim Kardashian Eau de Parfum. So I do believe that this is the very first, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the very first perfume that Kim Kardashian came out with. By the way, keep your eyes peeled. I do have a bunch of KKW fragrances coming that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys, and I'm super pumped about that. This fragrance, you guys, the reason I have put it in the #1 spot is because this probably smells the least like a celebrity fragrance of all the ones you see sitting on the tray. This is definitely a much more mature, elevated, sophisticated woman scent. This is not something I would picture being on a younger girl. This is a very sensual white floral tuberose scent. There is gardenia in here, there's honeysuckle, I think there's jasmine, I believe there is some sandalwood. I'll put all the notes up on the screen for you. This has really good performance. This has, like, this one is the closest you will get to filling a room, and it smells like a grown woman. The only reason I will not be keeping this is because I don't love white florals very much. Me and white florals have an issue, and there's something in here that just bothers my nose a little bit. It's a beautiful scent, but I don't think I would wear it for myself. But at the same time, you guys, I cannot fault it. I cannot fault this fragrance. It has really good performance. Like I say, it does not smell like a celebrity perfume. This you could easily gift to any woman in your family, whether they're your mom, your sister, your auntie. It's actually a beautiful fragrance. Yeah, what can I say? I was pleasantly surprised, even though I kind of knew that I wasn't going to be able to wear it because I knew that I don't jive with white florals. I just really wanted to try the Kim Kardashian fragrance. If you're looking for something to compare this to, it reminds me a lot of Madonna's Truth or Dare. It reminds me a little bit of Bond 9 Saks Fifth Avenue, both of which are white floral fragrances. And believe it or not, this almost has a touch of Raja Dove Reckless. It almost has a touch of that. It's kind of like Madonna Truth or Dare meets Reckless from Raja Perfumes. So yeah, take that for what you will. This is actually a very mature, beautiful fragrance that has better performance than most of the ones you see sitting on the tray. So that is Kim Kardashian. I put that in our #1 spot because for all the reasons I just mentioned. So yeah, that is the last one in our video today. So yeah, those are my thoughts on all of those fragrances. Please let me know down below if you guys share any similar thoughts. I tried to put them as subjectively in order as I could and tell you guys which ones I really feel would be the best recommendations, which ones I honestly think have the best performance. And yeah, I think that there's a couple that would have been really great scents if they just would have had better performance, but there's definitely a few on here that I would recommend. Probably my top recommendations again would be the R.E.M, the Cloud, the Kim Kardashian West, probably the Midnight Fantasy, and the Jessica Simpson Fancy. So yeah, that is it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you really enjoyed.